Good day, everybody. You're tuned in to Floridian Rollo. I'm your host, Floridian Rollo. And I'm coming at you with an early live stream. It seems like a lot of people is upset with Stephen A. Smith. The plantational folks, the Ibarazzi, are upset with Stephen A. Smith because he spoke the truth, the unadulterated truth. And they upset with him. They want him canceled. They want him not to have sponsors and do well in life. So without further ado, we're going to play this short clip and then we're going to play a YouTuber's clip because I can't find the actual video of where it's coming from. So we're going to play this short clip. I believe it's on News Nation, so I'm going to go to News Nation. We're going to find out. All right, let's go.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a break.
Hello, my name is Jack Chris, and I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I'm an air traffic controller for the Federal Aviation Administration. Been there 16 years. I've also been through the Obama shutdown and also the Trump shutdown in the previous. And my question is, under the current political climate, do you think that this shutdown could actually be longer than the previous shutdowns due to the external pressures, political pressures that we're having effect right now? Because I am actually driving DoorDash when I get off work just to kind of make sure I can pay for my daughter's tuition.
I don't think.
So this man worked for air traffic control, and he has to do DoorDash to pay for his daughter's tuition. This is how crazy it is out here in these companies, situational situations. And so Stephen A. Smith, it touched him so much. You got a lot of people say Stephen A. Smith is out of reach because he's making a lot of money. He's very successful at what he do. A lot of people can't stand him, yet always have him on shows, pay him to come on shows, pay him to do this, pay him to do that. They dislike him so much, yet they still want to have his energy and harvest it to, have him come on the show because he made the show interesting. It is what it is. Let's go. Let's listen to what happens. Listen to Stephen A.
I think Washington understands how ticked off we truly are. We're listening to this kind of stuff while a young man walked up to the microphone and said that he had to leave here to go and work on DoorDash to help pay for his daughter's tuition. Meanwhile, everybody up here getting paid. But he ain't.
Everybody up there is getting paid and he ain't. So watch what happens. Watch.
Is this kind of stuff right here. That's how you know, and I'm not accusing any of you directly or personally of feeling this way. I'm just talking about the apparatus that is Washington, the nation's capital. This is why you have so many Americans, excuse my language, so pissed off at Washington, because somehow, some way you get to have these conversations, engage in specific elements of it to talk about what we need to do to get things better. Our debt is $37.8 trillion. Somehow, some way, the taxpayer's been paying this, been throwing money, because we all look at our check, and it's been going to the government, and somehow, some way, you're supposed to be doing something constructive and productive enough to make sure that we don't have that kind of deficit. It isn't happening. A government shutdown is going on right now. A man has to work on DoorDash when he's really an air traffic controller, that we applauded. And we're up here talking about how much some money is going to cost. And the only person that don't have a check coming is him. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a break.
All right. We'll go to the audience.
You see that? You see that? I have no issue with what Stephen A. did. You don't have to like the man. You may not agree with all his views, his standpoints, yet it bothered him. It bothered him. And there's been a lot of stuff been going on at these airports lately. A lot of fights. I can't show all that stuff because it's very graphic. A lot of fights. People not getting to their destination till 4 days, 5 days later. They're not getting no money. They're not getting no reimbursement. If you pay for a flight and you can't get to your destination, there's a thing called, I forgot, credit. They don't give you no money back no more. You have that credit for a year. If you don't use it, hey, they keep the money. There's no more options unless you are going first class or business class. Those are the only people that have options. If you're paying for a regular ticket, unless you got a lot of miles, you may have a say. They may give you a seat that's available. It's crazy. All right, let's get to the video. Let's see if I can find it.
A government shutdown is going on right now. A man has to work on DoorDash when he's really an air traffic controller.
Uh-oh.
That we applauded, and we're up here talking about how much some money is going to cost.
Here's Stephen A. Smith on the same town hall talking about the shutdown and how ridiculous it is that the politicians who shut down, they get their check, but the people who are doing the work, who are temporarily furloughed, they're not getting anything.
We're listening to this kind of stuff while a young man walked up to the microphone and said that he had to leave here to go and work on DoorDash to help pay for his daughter's tuition. Meanwhile, everybody up here getting paid.
Everybody up there getting paid. Yep.
Is this kind of stuff right here. That's how you know, and I'm not accusing any of you directly or personally of feeling this way. I'm just talking about the apparatus that is Washington, the nation's capital. This is why you have so many Americans, excuse my language, so pissed off at Washington, because somehow, some way, you get to have these conversations, engage in specific elements of it to talk about what we need to do to get things better. Our debt is $37.8 trillion. Somehow, some way, the taxpayer paying this, been throwing money, because we all look at our check, and it's been going to the government, and somehow, some way, you're supposed to be doing something constructive and productive enough to make sure that we don't have that kind of deficit. It isn't happening. A government shutdown is going on right now. A man has to work on DoorDash when he's really an air traffic controller that we applauded. And we're up here talking about how much some money is going to cost. And the only person that don't have a check coming is him. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a break.
Wow.
All right, I'm going to take a break. I thought he was going to say, I'm going to pay for his daughter's tuition or something. Stephen A., you did just sign a $100 million deal. Throw the guy a little something. But he, of course, is completely right up there. How about this? How about going forward after this shutdown? Because this thing will end. The furloughed people will get paid and all of that. That's how it works every single time. Everyone gets very upset, and then the same exact result happens every time, and that's what will happen here. How about going forward after this? If any politician signs on to a government shutdown, they do not get paid. But not only do not get paid during the shutdown, they don't get back pay, because again, what happens is these people, they get furloughed. It's temporarily pushed off, and then when the deal is made, they all get the money back. Now, I still have sympathy for the guy who's an air traffic controller who has to work, for DoorDash or whatever. But yeah, the politicians that vote for the shutdown, if there was anyone non-essential that's working in America today, it's likely a politician. So how about you guys actually have a little bit of pain when you do this sort of thing?
Well, couldn't agree more. Mrs. Edwards, how you doing? She says, this is crazy, but he's taking care of his daughter. What a blessing. He got to do what he got to do. Now, it could be possible Stephen A. Smith helped out. It's interesting that the Rubin report says that. It'd be interesting to see if he did. He probably did, helped out the man, to get off that burden. He probably don't want to, announce it to the public. Sometimes you want to do something for somebody in secret, you know. We know that scripture, doing it in secret. He don't want people to know that he's taking care of this person, that person. He don't want to, put it out there, So she says, good day. Everyone have a blessed one. Likewise, you too. And tell Mr. Edwards I say hello. All right. Now, you got these simps upset with Stephen A. Let me do something here. It's on News Nation. All right, let's go to News Nation. Let's see what they say.
America's winning like never before. We got the hostages back. Most challenging breakthrough maybe ever. It's incredible. Stock market's at an all-time high. Crime numbers are way down. We have the greatest country in the world, and we're back. We're bringing back law and order to D.C., Chicago, Los Angeles.
He doesn't believe in the rule of law. He believes in the rule of Don. Period. Full stop.
Charlie Kirk murdered. There are so many acts of political violence we can't keep track.
It's up to the Republicans whether they want to shut down or not.
It's all because of the Democrats. When is someone going to get into the business of better?
Live from the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C., welcome to the News Nation Town Hall to tackle the biggest issues that are facing our country today. Hosted by Chris Cuomo with Stephen A. Smith and Bill O'Reilly.
So Chris Cuomo, the brother of Andrew Cuomo, is hosting this show on News Nation with Stephen A. and Bill O'Reilly. All right, let's continue. They got a crowd out there in D.C.
Should travel with these guys more often. All right. Let's get down to what matters, all right? Let me just say some quick thank yous so we can get to the big names. We have a parade of players for you tonight. And I love that we're having this moment together. The thank yous for the people at home watching on the CW, for the people listening on Sirius XM, to our sponsor, Sling, for allowing us, Sling, to have the conversation with limited commercials, which is so key so that people can talk and feel free. And I'm not giving them this sign the whole time. And to the faithful of News Nation, who know that this is where right and left come to be reasonable. Thank you each and all for being with us tonight. Second, thank you to Stephen A. and to William J. Big names, big game. Thank you for lending your cachet and your credibility to our efforts at News Nation. I appreciate you every night, and especially tonight. Why? Third, thank you so much for being here. I'll give you a secret. I came out before just to thank people for coming. Not that I thought we'd be alone, but because I think it's so important to do what we're doing tonight. For News Nation, a startup.
All right, let me get to the point. All right, let's get to this part. Let's play this clip.
Big. We have the man in command. Tom Homan joins us. And for a look at what the Senate could be, what government could be, who knows better than Senator Joe Manchin, who will join us. So stay with News Nation, where conversation is the cure. Thank you.
The News Nation Town Hall is brought to you by Sling. Choose.
Well, good to see you, and thank you for being on my show on a couple occasions. I really appreciate it. But I have to ask you, when you say, okay, you entered the country illegally, it's that cut and dry, is that consistent in your mind with what the president told America during the campaign and immediately after, that he was targeting criminals, not people who just entered illegally?
Like I just said, we are prioritizing criminal aliens, national security threats, and public safety threats. The data clearly proves it. 70%. Actually, the percentage of criminals we're arresting is higher than what the Biden administration did, even though they said they're going to concentrate on criminal aliens who are convicted of aggravated felonies. And that's just a stone cold fact. We still target criminals. They come first. Wars first. But are others wrapped up? Certainly, especially in sanctuary cities where most collateral arrests occur.
I have an angle that I think is what is causing trouble on this issue and for you personally, but we're here for them. So let me get an audience question. Amy, what is your question for Mr. Holman?
Hi, Mr. Holman. I'm from Chicago. And while I do appreciate all the hard work that the ICE officers have been doing, taking the worst of the worst, it seems to become more aggressive recently, probably in the past 2 months. A couple days ago, there's a large train station down the street from my house, and there were ICE officers 5 o'clock in the morning. And that's not always affecting just them. It's affecting regular citizens too. Delays, whatever. But I'm just curious why it's become so much more aggressive, and seems in Chicago mostly.
Well, a couple of things. Aggressive, I don't know if I use that term, but there's 1,000% increase on attacks on ICE officers. Have you seen the media lately? There's bounties on their heads for $50,000 to kill one of them. So they're very careful in the way they do these operations. They got to protect themselves. So I want to use the term aggressive. They're using a lot more precautions when they approach somebody. Second of all, if the mayor wants less ICE agents on the streets of Chicago, then let us in the jail to arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of a jail where it's safer for Chicago residents, it's safer for the ICE agents, and it's safer for the alien. It doesn't make sense to release a public safety threat who's in the country legally back into the public. They like to say, well, we're a welcoming community. We want victims and witnesses of a crime who are illegally in the United States to feel free to come to the police without fear of working with ICE. That is a bunch of crap. Because victims and witnesses of a crime don't want the bad guy in the neighborhood either.
That's right.
Today's question, though, how common is it for the Chicago?
Exactly. They don't want that type of situation in their area, environment, and the quote-unquote black folks have, spoken on this. They want these people out of their neighborhoods. Okay, let's fast forward. Let's hear this part. I'm waiting for it to play. Here we go.
This is about Chuck Schumer not voting for what he voted for.
Can we go back to
The
Jack?
facts are so basic. He said I was for it, now he won't vote for
I got you.
that
Natalie.
thing.
I want to go back to Jack. Thank you for your work. I talked to regional air traffic controllers. I'm from the Philadelphia region, and we also have Reading Regional. We have some other regional airports. I talked to an air traffic controller. I have been to the tower. You guys are so dedicated. You work long hours, high stress. And I know with this shutdown, some of your support staff have been furloughed because they're non-essential. We are asking the world of you, and you keep the skies safe. Is it possible? Yes. Is it possible that this goes longer? I came in 19. I was sworn in the longest shutdown in government history under Trump administration 1. 35 days. I met with air traffic controllers. They were doing garage sales to make sure, selling stuff out of their houses to make sure they can feed their families. It is absolutely irresponsible. Why are the Republicans not here negotiating?
Well, Jim, you know why no one believes that? Jim's a great debater, by the way, and
She's saying why the Republicans are not there to debate. Why you not going in the House and pass the bill, ma'am? Why you not going to the House to pass the bill? You getting paid. Why you not worrying about that man and his situation and care about them? This is what these dear T women do. They play this soft touch and soft hand gesture and kind of speak well and be kind of elegant, yet and still they stab you in the back. Why she ain't taking a paycheck? Why she not taking a pay cut? Oh, the Republicans don't want to sit with us. They don't want to sit with you deity women and entity dudes. Do the right thing. Let's continue.
I always am concerned when he comes into the committees. But you know why no one believes this Chuck Schumer thing? The country thinks he's too ineffective to actually be shutting things down. Does anyone believe that the Democrats actually are like running things? You got Donald Trump, you got the Republicans in charge, the Republicans in the Senate, and so this argument that the Democrats are blocking things is just not believable.
Did you hear what the senator said? To get something passed in the Senate, you need 60 votes. The first guest on Chris's show was one of those Democrat senators who voted with Republican, but they need 5 more to get there. So you got to understand basic civics, how the Congress works. You got to get 60 votes. You can do this. You can try to blame. You can try to say Chuck Schumer doesn't know what he's doing. That's not how it works.
We should have the real thing. Look, why is it that in this country you can do with 51 votes, you can pass the president's appointees, you can confirm judges, you can have the budget reconciliation,
Chris,
you can have the budget reconciliation to give tax breaks, but we can't
for getting rid of the filibuster.
We can't do it. I'm for getting 51 votes because he's not in the Senate. The government open.
Right.
That's because he's not in the Senate. If he was in the Senate, he wouldn't say it.
Wait on this. You get rid of the filibuster, you lose the holy grail of democracy.
I didn't say I was for it.
I know that. I disagree with it. I disagree on that. You can't get rid of this.
I'll tell you one thing before you leave, Jack.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack, let me say one thing. Can I say one thing?
Senator wants to talk to you, but Jack, let me tell you something. He is emblematic of who wins the midterms. If whoever wins the vote of the man who has to drive DoorDash because of what Congress put him in as a position is going to win the midterms. Whoever he feels can get him out of a situation. Now, we all know, it makes you want to cry that he has to do that when he's doing something that keeps us alive. That's what's going to be what wins the midterms. I'll tell you that.
Jack, I'll say one thing to you. A person came to me the other day and he says, listen.
The vote. Does voting really matter when the results speak for itself? The man has to do DoorDash to do a tuition to take care of his family. The man is doing pretty good for himself, working long hours to keep the air safe, to keep the people safe, in and out, in and out, in and out. That's not an easy thing to do. So I applaud him for doing what he's doing. I applaud men for winning, regardless of culture. The man is crying. The man is crying. It's like you got a lot of men don't believe in this country. Some men do, some men don't. Economically being attacked by these entities and deities in high places on YouTube, off of social media. I would just, if those people really cared about him, why don't they take a little bit of their paycheck and help that man out if they care about him? Do you know how long it's going to take before things are going to be quote unquote back to normal? A little bit of time. Let's continue.
If the greatest country on earth, the United States of America, can get Hamas and the Israelis in the same room, make a deal, we sure as heck can get the Democrats and Republicans in a room, make a deal.
Like I said, I'm staying out of that situation. I'm not getting to all that. They made a deal. They're at peace with each other. I want to know what's going to happen here. Is the Ibarashis going to get the deal done? That's what I'm more concerned of. What's going on over there? Hey, it is what it is. Let's go.
So there's a lot of politics in play here because the Republicans feel that they're gaining, and CNN actually the other night had a poll that showed most Americans are blaming Democrats for the shutdown. That could change, okay? So when the Republicans see that, the urgency of this drops because the midterms loom. But I want to ask the 3 Democrats here. This is what I think is underlying.
I don't know if you saw the Oregon Treasury report.
2.5. 2.5.
Well, we got 1.5 Republicans and 2.5 Democrats. We're good.
Let's make a deal.
Oregon releases a budget, and in the budget, it shows the state of Oregon is spending $1.5 billion for the years 25, 26, 7 to give free health care to undocumented migrants. In the same budget,
They're not giving no money to Americans in Oregon, and you folks in Oregon are fighting against the Trump administration and no money coming into your pocket. You busting your behind, working 40, 60, 80 hours, whatever you got going on over there, and you are not getting nothing in return, and somebody from another place is getting something that belongs to you. Yet if you go to their country, you can't get the services like they get here in America. Let's go.
the state police get 50% less than that. There is a deep suspicion on the part.
The police get less than the migrants? What? What? The police get less than the migrants? The migrants is getting more money than the officers? This place is backwards. The migrants is living better than the officers, let alone the people that work the 9 to 5, let alone the people that's born in America. Their children is doing better than American children. They eating good, driving nice, and all they got to do is work part-time, and they driving nice. Could you imagine you working full-time, overtime? You're not getting no support from the company. You're not getting no support from your channel. And a migrant could come on YouTube and his money or her money goes up. You're an American content creator. You have to go through all the BS just to get money. I shouldn't be surprised by this. I shouldn't be surprised by this. It's no wonder that a lot of the officers are leaving and turning in their badges, leaving the state of Oregon and going to work in Texas or Florida or North Carolina or Tennessee, because those are the hot spots, or Georgia. They come into those 5 places and they taking on the duty of being respected, and they getting paid pretty good for the most part. So you mean to tell me the people that work in these high-rise places are getting less than the migrants? The migrants is more respected than the American person that's working? They sold the American people out. They sold the American people out to Satan. Let's continue.
Of the Republican Party, that the healthcare system is being gamed. It's a con, okay? And that all of this money going into Obamacare is being used by the blue states to do things they're not supposed to do.
Natalie, is this a show game?
They are taking the proportionary of that money and fatten their own pockets. And then you wonder why, if you're living in these Ibaraki states, you're paying more taxes. Every single year, you pay more and more and more and more. You don't have nothing for your children. You don't have nothing for yourself. They want you to do crime. Might as well say they want you to do crime in these Ibaraki cities. They respect criminals than average, hardworking people. Let's continue to listen to this.
Wait. Here's the question.
Okay, no, that's not the law, and that is not true.
But the stats are the stats. Oregon said we are going to spend $1.5 billion to give health care.
We're the federal government. The
And
federal government
Democrats
does
have
not
said-
allow that.
Democrats have said there's no money going, and that's not true. So,
You know where the money
two
goes?
and a half
Emergency care.
No, miss. We're not hearing that petty talk. You're talking petty. No. Her mic needs to be turned off. Let the man talk. You're over talking. You're over talking with the nonsense. We're not doing this. We're not doing that.
It's a Ronald Reagan bill. Health care for those who come into our emergency room that they don't die.
It's not
They
emergency
get
room.
triaged.
It's not
They get
emergency
triaged.
room.
You're talking about
These
Oregon.
are
We're the federal government.
subsidies in the state of Oregon. So, I believe, and remember, people believe what they want to believe. I believe that the goal of the Democratic Party is to have socialized medicine in this country, one payer. And right now on CNN, you have a communist town hall with AOC and Bernie Sanders.
I thought I was going to that town.
We'll kick
I
their
really
butt.
thought I was. Chris, what happened?
So my question is, to you,
This is where right and left come to be reasonable.
is he still here? Yeah. Okay.
Bill, I just
Wait, here's my
I
question.
said you had mellowed down since the
You
Fox
believe-
days.
You want a one-payer government-run health care?
Great question.
Yes or no?
You know what I want?
Yes, I do want Medicare for all. You know who else?
want it.
You know who else
I
wants
want
it?
health
Marjorie
care.
Taylor Greene.
Okay, that's
Marjorie
great.
Taylor Greene is talking
You got
about
one who wants it.
Wait a
You
second.
want a car?
No, I want two things. I want an actual budget. I am newly an appropriator.
You're
Did
drifting.
No, I'm not drifting.
Drifting.
I'm telling people what they need to know.
You want
She's grifting. You have YouTubers on here talking about they don't watch YouTubers. Then why, you know what's crazy? You got people saying YouTube is not the real world. Then why is these people that say YouTube is not the real world on YouTube getting support? Got merch, making money here and there. Yet they're telling you this is not the real world. Then why did Bill O'Reilly talk about grifting? They watch our content. You got folks saying, Rollo's grifting off of the Charlie Kirk, all this political stuff when I was talking about political stuff here and there before. It's just now I talk about it more because of the times we in. And they upset because I get the views, I get the likes, I get the support here and there, and I speak what's true. And they can't do what I do because it's not in them. They put it on their sleeve, it's not in them to break it down like how I break it down. Let's continue.
socialized medicine?
Appropriators are supposed to put forward bills, have them pass, go it over to the Senate, reconcile where you
This is
can.
a dodge. Come
It's
on.
not a dodge at all. I want everybody in America to have health care.
Okay.
You know what, Martin?
The only way that happens.
No. She just said it. She want everybody in America, including the migrants, to have health care. She just exposed her whole trajectory of what they want. I'm just looking at this robin. The robin bird is over here. It's pretty much a little bit chilly. The robin bird is here. What it's looking for? Or it's what it's mate? We are looking for. You want something? What y'all want? Matter of fact, I think I do have something for them. They over here for a reason. Let me see. I'll deal with that in a second if they're still around. I'll give them something. They got a sense for smelling food. All right, let's go.
Is a one-payer Canadian system.
Let me just.
The only way it happens.
One of my favorite Martin Luther King quotes is the greatest injustice, the greatest inequity is injustice in health.
Okay, healthcare is a human right. That's fine.
Then you must be for single payer or health care for all.
the half Democrat right here. Do you want
Bill, did that mean you
socialized
were
medicine?
No, I don't. But I do want to revamp the medical system that we have now because people don't know what they're paying for. They don't know what they're getting.
Okay,
They
but
don't-
you don't want the government
We
controlling.
can fix that, right? The government basically has to offer.
So it's two
has to be
against
compassion.
one.
Bill, you know Donald Trump in his
I don't
book,
know him.
when he called for read his book, he says we should have the Canadian single-payer system before he became president.
Is that before or after we take over Canada?
That's a fair point. I don't know. Maybe that's his
51st
plan.
state, yes.
All right, so that's pretty much about it. Stephen A. did not return back to the show. He did not return back to the show. When he walked off, he walked off. So there you have it. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think, Mrs. Edwards, and to everybody viewing, thank you for liking the video. Hey, I'm going to get on out of here. Hey, we'll have another show probably later on. Who knows? If not, tomorrow. I had to talk about this. It was a lot of this going on. I say I'm waiting on the conversation, do it the long format style. And so if you got anything y'all need me to talk about, you can reach out to me on Instagram, Rollo185. That's my backup Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting everybody on my real Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I have 2 Instagrams, So if you got any clips, you have to, let me approve your message. I have to know who you are before, I have you probably come into it, who knows, into my Instagram. Time will tell. So I just seen some Instagram stuff going through my feed. Anyway, you're tuned into Floridian Rollo. I'm your host, Floridian Rollo. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Y'all be safe out there on them roads. Safe travels. If you're in the air, be careful, mindful, incontinence, and pay attention to your surroundings, wherever you at. And I'll holler at you on the next one. Peace.